Dieter Rams is one of the world's greatest designers of everyday objects. His mind, which in other eras might have been employed making sculptures of altarpieces or precision scales for diamond traders, is devoted to producing carefully and beautifully made calculators, shelving, office chairs, TVs, radios, watches, record players, egg beaters, video cameras, and electric shavers. His career has been extraordinarily successful. The company he made famous, Braun, was a medium-sized manufacturer of radios in Germany when he joined, and it grew to become a global titan of consumer good production under his leadership as head of design. Rams's work has ended up in hundreds of millions of homes. So, why is design important? Partly because poorly designed things slow us down and sadden us. The stapler that doesn't work, the bag of walnuts that doesn't open, or the TV remote control that hasn't been thought out well enough. These all symbolize miscommunication and lack of empathy from the designer. Rams shows us that capitalism need not produce poor quality products. His life and work are a guide to the values that we might make more central to our lives and our businesses. Rams wanted to reduce everything back to just a few things that matter most. You can see this in one of his early products, the PC3SV radio. There are many more things which could be done with a radio: bass and tenor controls, separate AM and FM dials, an alarm clock, an output cord for larger speakers, and so on. But Rams pushed in the opposite direction. He made the on and off switch a part of the volume control, which hadn't been done before and which people argued against. But the end result is deeply satisfying. You have to be confident to dare to be simple with radios or in any other areas of life. Being simple can make you vulnerable, but simplicity is really an achievement. It follows from a hard-won clarity about what matters when designing. A toothbrush is a prime example. Rams spent weeks thinking about and experimenting with the ratio of the handle to the bristles, the width of the handle, the number of ridges for the thumb to grip onto, and so on. But this large amount of work is nowhere obvious in the final product. This follows from a principle of modesty, which Rams lives by, and which goes back to the Roman poet Horace. The art lies in concealing the art. Rams has modesty as a person. Although he was originally trained as an architect and carpenter, he wanted to make products that improve people's lives rather than design spectacular things to promote his own glory. The products he designed are all imbued with modesty. They don't try to attract your attention for no reason. They're happy to sit in the background and do the work. Such modesty stems from a lack of anxiety about being ignored. One of Rams's principles is that an object should be easy to live with and so easy to encounter for the first time that you could get rid of the instruction manuals. Rams's products never come with any instructions. The object should just be obvious from the beginning. This ability to create a welcoming experience for another person is a great skill. Not many people can do it well, however, because it derives from an unusual source, remembering what it's like to be distressed. In his work, Rams is in touch with what it's like to be lost, to feel abandoned and frustrated. Although his work looks serene, it comes from knowing how easily we as individuals get angry and muddled and ashamedly confused by instructions which any normal adult should be able to understand. But we're more like simpletons that pretend we understand. We actually want things to be easy and user-friendly, but we don't readily tell other people that we're a bit stupid, although everyone is in many ways. This is why it's the job of a great designer to remember with tenderness the fact that we're all childlike and a little bit lost. Rams is like a parent. He's making the world a bit friendlier for us. Rams is not making things for an actual 6-year-old. Rather, he mixes insights about our childlike nature within a context of elegance and dignity. For example, this calculator comes with colored buttons to show you the main functions. He remembers that everyone is easily confused, so he makes it simple and easy. Rams was a classic, which means he tapped into things that don't change. This means we don't have to buy new things all the time. A classic book, for instance, such as the Tao Te Ching, is still useful and the lessons still apply today, even after hundreds of years. Overall, the global economy needs to be more classic. We suffer from a romantic ideology, which tends to emphasize and value what is new. Rams, in contrast, is interested in what is permanent. His goal was to create products that wouldn't go out of date so fast, so we wouldn't have to throw them away so rapidly. Rams shows us that good business can be elegant, long-lasting, and dignified. All capitalism should be like this. Ideally, all entrepreneurs should study his work and devote themselves to the values of simplicity and modesty at the heart of their worldview. Rams's mindset is currently very unusual. I hope it will become more mainstream and widespread. Yo, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe and I will pray for you before I go to bed. All right, thank you. See you later. Fist bump.